All right, it's time to talk about baseball here on Wednesday, April 5th. I did a tremendous amount of work on the MLB algorithm overnight here. And I got it to do what I wanted to do with an extensive macro and 1,000 combination strings, guys. We have 1,000 in here. It takes like 10, 15 minutes almost to run the macro for the day now. But you're not going to have to run it before the games, really. You're just going to want to look at this. So let me kind of explain what's going on. Easiest way, believe it or not, this is the easiest sheet to read in the file right here. This one is showing, it's showing the games here for the 5th. It's saying the Cubs will beat Cincinnati 4.9 to 3.4. Thinks they're going to win this game by a little more than a run. Thinks the Cubs are the ninth pick of the day. Well, you can only read the sheet and go through every game when you have a combination string up here. Different combination strings yield different results completely. So you change the number and everything changes. 12, everything changes completely. So like, which one are you going to want to use? Well, that's what I'm working on. Is I wrote this huge macro and created a bunch of random distributions so that it really does it randomly. And then I run them now, all 1,000 of them after the games are over for the day to look at the previous day's results. And it now shows up in a very different looking TQ pivot sheet. It does not have profit. It doesn't have any of the things that it used to have, but it shows you when it looks at your wins, it says combo number 956 won 8 of its games yesterday under 23 stats. There was only 9 of these combinations out of the 1,000 that went 8 and 6 yesterday. All of them went 7 and 7 or worse, all the way down to winning only 4 games down here. Okay. This means that it's showing you how many games each one of those combination strings won. So I've connected that to the combination sheet. So now we get to sort them all by the ones that won the most for the day. And we can label them. That's what I've done here. Combo number 124, combo number 240, combo number 242, 467, 540, 956, and 980 were the best ones. They all went 8 and 6. So you could use any one of these when you are browsing for the day. Let's try number 540. See what that one does. 540. When you do that, you still have 4.9 to 3.4 that game at least. Once you change that and you start looking at all the margins and looking at everything, like here you have a conflict where it thinks that Pittsburgh might actually beat Boston because of score, but it thinks margin, it thinks Boston would win. This is saying like the algorithm's kind of disagreeing with itself a little bit. It doesn't really know who's going to win this game because this formula is a little different than just the margin formula. The projected score is not exactly the same. It comes in line pretty well throughout the year, but it's a little bit independent, which is why I can disagree with the margin a little bit. Point is, you put whatever combination string, and I would recommend using one of these for tomorrow, even though we're going to get a totally different answer after Wednesday. And I run this for Wednesdays and we'll see what we get and we'll filter it to the top to see what combination actually wins and how good we can actually get this. Because with 1,000 different combination strings, and I can make it 10,000 even too, I can do whatever we want. We create a random combination string by this formula and just applying this random formula up to whatever we want to do. I'll explain that, how to do that in a different video. But I just wanted to prep people for Wednesday because I know you're going to get a file that looks a lot different. So I would recommend using one of these combination strings, right? And what else is it telling us about why these won? Look at the color coding going on here. You see a lot of red in the pitcher win column. That's because it had trouble getting 8 wins with a high pitcher win percentage variable. They want it to be low. Red means a low number. Where was it green? It wasn't green anywhere except maybe BABIP a little bit. Where was it yellow? It was yellow. It was yellow under ERA. It was yellow under lineup factor, average runs allowed a little bit, and BABIP. So this was a really awful day, which is why these aren't the best combinations ever. Well, man, we're going to get a better look after today. And then we'll resort and we'll start labeling all the ones that win. And then every day we'll see which ones that win filter to the top and what these colors look like as we start filtering these to the top. We're going to start to see patterns. on which variables are resulting in wins. That's what's going to happen. Right now, it's saying on that very limited one day, it's saying average runs per game stinks, pitcher win percentage stinks, bullpen ERA factor is not great either. But nothing was really excellent. Well, we'll see what it says after today. But if you need to use this to wager or to look at whatever today, use one of these, and then dump it in the matchup sheet right here, and then look, and then you can refresh your browse pivot to see what that looks like. Right. So it's got, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, Houston, Toronto, Yankees, Minnesota, LA, yada, yada, yada. That's what it says, basically. So you're going to look at it one at a time. There's no big TQ pivot for profit and averages and stuff. Doesn't do that anymore. I want to run it this way because this is better for what we need to do. Is we need to look at the combinations that are winning, because you just want to use one combination when you're looking. So we need to figure out what the most optimal combination ends up being. And we're going to be able to make a huge sample check every day. And we'll start to see if one of these, does really well today as well, even though I don't think it will. I think this was a fluke day yesterday. I think we're going to get a completely different percentage that wins. And I think it's going to be more heavily related to lineup factor, but we'll see what happens. But point is I'll show you how to run this on Wednesday night when all the results are done. And yeah. And then this will be extremely cool because we'll just resort by this and we'll see what popped up to the top and what won the most games. There are 13 games here on Wednesday. And I think you're going to see ranges on these 13 games all the way from like 11-2 all the way to like 4-9 or something like that. I bet you the ranges are insane on what these combinations do, because yesterday in 14 games, the best it could do with 2023 stats was to win 8 of them or win 4 of them. So it went 8-6 or 4-10, right? It was how bad it could be. And we could just get rid of all these ones that only won 4 games and redo them. This is how we would do that. We would copy the random formula, paste up. Yep. All these ones that only won 4 games are all getting rid of. We assume you guys stink as distributions. So we're going to paste right here. And all of a sudden we have a brand new set of random numbers. And this all changed. The combination string changed to adjust it so they have to add up to 100%. But by factoring them down to make them add up to 100%, which is why these numbers are 1 here. Now you have to go back here and you have to copy and paste as values to get rid of the random formula that's in there. Because if you leave it in there, the random number thing changes every time you click on any other cell or do anything. This changes from a random number to something else. So I'll show you how that works. When you look at this one, watch, every time I do something, this changes also. It's crazy. Whenever the random number is in the cell, it will automatically change anytime you do anything. So you got to turn these to values, copy paste as values when you do that. And I did that, and we'll run it again tomorrow. But this is what we're doing now. This is absolutely a plan on how to find the best distribution and the best types of distribution for the day. This is exactly how I want to show it. And we'll sort this every day and see what pops up here on top as the best of the day. Another thing is just ERA or just BABIP also went 8-6 yesterday. I wouldn't recommend using those as your forecasting combos, but they also won 8 games. So it was all these combo numbers that won 8 games. So anyway, the macro will run 1,000 now. It takes 10 minutes. It's got a new name. So if you want to try it, it's called Copy Data to Testing Cube. Chat GPT helped me write a looped formula to do this easily. Amazing. Chat GPT is amazing. So lots of progress. Can't wait to see what this says after the day is over today and what will be the combination of the day, because we have 1,000 to choose from and there's nothing stopping us from making this thing 50,000 long. It's so easy to create the random numbers. You just paste the formula. We could do one for 50,000 and have it really dig to see what kind of awesome, the most awesome percentage it can find. And I might do that if I'm bored, because it's not that hard. You just have to sit and wait and run the macro. But we'll try 1,000 for now to see if we can get some logic over the next few days, because 1,000's a lot. When I jumped from 25 to 100 and then 100 to 1,000, I couldn't get this thing to have 8 wins with just 100. I couldn't find it except for these two, obviously. But I couldn't get it to win 8 wins. But I was able to get it to get more of these ones when I added another 900 combinations. So maybe I'll put it up to like 10,000 or something once, just to try it and see if something else really crazy comes out. But we're going to keep recycling new random combinations and get rid of the junky ones every day. We're going to keep the good ones at the top and label them. And then we're going to get rid of all the bad ones at the bottom and override them with new randoms for the next day. That is exactly what we're going to do. All right, super cool. So good luck, everyone. I hope these combination strings do well, but I really hope we have some combination string that comes out of here that has an amazing day, and it gives us some insight into which variables are important. All right. Okay, guys, that was it. I know that was a lot of explanation of programming. This is what the projections are. This is what the projections are by runs with one of these good things from yesterday. Cleveland really going to win 10-6 over. Going to lose. Oh, this guy's got an 18 ERA. Oh, no. Can we change that to 2021? Oh, no, we can't. That's his problem. So this game's supposed to have 18 runs. There you go. All right. It's early in the season, guys. It's early in the season, but good luck. And may all your picks be winning. That's my baseball update for the day.